Council's met in a session closed to the public for the purpose of receiving advice subject to solicitor-client privilege and the communications necessary for that. We're on item 5. The chair recognizes Councillor Elger.
Yes, first I'd like to get a motion to go beyond 10 o'clock.
Thank you. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? That carries. And
I have a motion that I would like to present to council. And my motion is very simple. I would ask that we receive this report and not take any further action of planning studies at this time. And the reason for me saying that is I feel the planning studies for this area are premature. We have an approved livable Oakville plan. That plan, in fact, has been approved by the region, the province. We have identified where our numbers. We will meet the places to grow right up until 2031, and I see no need to look at these lands for population growth at this time. It's very well recognized in our town official plan that the Parkway Belt does exist. It's on Schedule A1 of the urban structure. It mentions Parkway Belt. Built boundary urban center it's on the land use schedules boundaries. Not to know Parkway Belt is in our official plan by anyone who happens to have just purchased a golf course, I'd be very surprised. And since we are meeting all our objectives, there is no reason that we should be looking at doing anything with this lands other than what we're doing now. Golfers continue to golf and have a great time, and the natural areas for everyone else to enjoy. And I'm hoping council will support that. I'm not saying at a future date we shouldn't do the studies, because it will come a time, but not at this time. I thank you.
Any other speakers? All right, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Those opposed?
A recorded vote.
All right. Those in favor of the motion, please rise to be named. Councillor Lapworth, Councillor Elger, Councillor Berg, Councillor Demoff. Those opposed? Councillor Khan, Councillor Adams, Councillor Grant, Councillor Knoll, Mayor Merton, Councillor Giddings, Councillor Duddick, Councillor Robinson, Councillor Johnston. The motion fails. I'd entertain another motion. Did I see a hand? Councillor Knoll.
I'll move the staff recommendation, Your Worship.
Thank you. It's moved by Councillor Knoll. Are there any changes wanted? Councillor Elger.
Your Worship, if in fact it's going to, obviously it didn't do too well on my side here. If in fact Councillor Knoll is moving it, I would ask for a few modifications to the objectives of the study, in that I would like it mentioned about protecting wildlife corridors also. It's
in Objective 1?
Sorry?
In Objective 1?
Yes.
I
would like protecting wildlife corridors to be in there. Would also like that we should be looking at connecting east-west corridors between ESA number 10 and ESA number 12. Number 10 is your Bronte Creek, and 12 is the 14-mile.
Okay. Any others? That's in number 1 also, I assume. Do you want to make any changes to number 3?
Well, I'm wondering how we do that. Integrate and connect. I know that was what Mr. Burton was talking about, where they were looking at coming through town lands to have a road. Can staff help us with this?
You could conceivably say, determine appropriate integration and connection of new development where it is possible with the surrounding communities. If you...
Without negatively impacting surrounding communities.
No, I think you're well, I don't know. Let's look for legal advice here. You want objective criteria. Director?
I would just suggest that, the last statement about where not negatively impacting, the intent of the integration and connection is to connect to the existing community, and it's never intended that integration and connection is seen as a negative thing. So the intent of the policy from here and in Livable Oakville is in relation to complete communities, where integration and connection, if there is to be development, is to be achieved. It's not seen as a negative. So I would just put that forward as the intent of this objective and policy is a positive influence for the planning.
perhaps staff can, like, if they run a road through an existing park, that I don't think would be seen as being a positive to many people.
Commissioner.
With the words determine appropriate, I think that gives you the latitude to determine what is the appropriate linkage of that community, the new community, to the existing. So in that way you are protecting the existing community while allowing for some integration where it's appropriate.
Okay. Guess we'll see.
Councillor Knoll, are these changes agreeable to you?
I think that these bring great value to this resolution.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor then? Opposed? That carries. All right, that brings us to item number 6.